Christian who supports abortion, and here are all reasons why. First, it's never condemned in the Bible.
The Bible teaches not to kill an innocent human being. The Bible teaches fetal personhood. The Bible teaches that all human beings, both pre-born and born, are made in the image of God, and the Bible teaches that all human beings are deserving of universal, equal human rights and protections, beginning with the right to life.
The Bible doesn't even say life begins at conception.
There are numerous passages in the Bible clearly detailing life and fetal personhood before the moment of birth, such as the one shown on screen. The Bible even describes human fetuses as having minds, emotions, and feelings, and the Bible even applies terms such as human babies to fetuses. Also, God's revelation in natural science proves undoubtedly that life begins at conception.
Only evidence we have for when life begins is in Genesis, when God describes the breath of life.
The breath of life as a direct causatory creative act is only used to describe Adam, since he was the first human and there is not a woman who would have been able to give birth to him, since no woman lived before him. Adam, being the first human, was not created through the biologically necessary and typical embryonic developmental process. The Hebrew word for breath, ruach, has predominantly spiritual implications and not merely biological implications.
This is why Jews actually believe life begins at first breath.
Talmudic Judaism actually affirms that life begins 40 days after conception. However, even this 40-day statistic has been disproven scientifically. Orthodox Judaism actually prohibits abortion in almost all cases except for if the mother's life is severely at risk, and even in that case it must be approved by a rabbi. Even if this weren't the case, Rabbinical Judaism operates under completely different epistemic paradigms and uses completely different canonical sources than Christianity.
It doesn't really even mention abortion, besides when a priest prepares an abortifacient or bitter water to a man who believes his wife is cheating on him.
Numbers chapter 5 is always cited by pro-choicers as a pro-choice passage. However, the original Hebrew does not even mention the words baby, pregnancy, kill, miscarry, abort, etc. The passage has nothing to do with pregnancy nor abortion. The passage was never even translated to mean miscarriage or abortion until the creation of the New English Bible in 1970.
Only explicit mention we have of abortion in the Bible is not condemned.
Numbers chapter 5 isn't condemned because it's not about abortion.
I believe God gave women power to create life, and with that, shepherdship over the creation of life.
The Bible does not entail that ripping a child apart is shepherdship over life. I thought you said earlier that life begins at birth. How can you have shepherdship over life if it isn't even alive?
If God wanted men to be in control of reproduction, she would have given them the power to do so, but she didn't.
If you love God so much, why don't you respect his pronouns?
It's important for women to have the control of reproduction, hence why God gave that power to us.
God is the giver and taker of life. He establishes value in humans. God bless.